Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Resident Evil 6. Stopped right in the middle of something, so we're climbing an elevator cord as at least one Ada is fighting Simmons and his monster side. So we're at the end, I would guess, of Chapter 5, which I'm surprised there even is a Chapter 5. And see, he's just sitting here watching Ada do all of this fighting, and I imagine at some point we'll play Ada's story, and then we'll be able to do something.
That's enough fighting.
Now I was thinking maybe
down, Simmons.
that the locking up might be a cause because of a memory leak, but that actually doesn't make a lot of sense because then if that were the case, I'm out of bullets. I'm so out of bullets. Like nothing. Are there any bullets over here? Like I need these zombies to show up and die just so I can get bullets. So we'll switch to a gun.
Shit!
Jump!
And we're back to climbing, really?
I always get stuck with the button. Shit! Watch out!
And they're cutting over the dialogue too. They have things they want the characters to say, and then they're having actions or sound effects become part of it.
Now!
Ooh, so I don't think I succeeded there. Am I hitting the wrong button? There's a giant Neo umbrella or Umbrella Corp symbol at the bottom of this thing. But it's just a heck of a lot of left trigger, right trigger going on, you know? Why he doesn't wrap his legs around the rope, I don't know. That only makes it harder to climb. And you'd think someone in the Secret Service or whatever organization now takes care of the president would know that. They'd be trained militarily, at least in basic rope climbing skills. Boy, nothing happened. I just sat there and spent 2 minutes climbing a rope and nothing occurred.
Elena, cover me!
Leon!
Ada, can you hear me?
So I have to hit B to help her.
Could it end like this?
What's funny is he doesn't hit her in the chest.
With me, my love. We'll be together forever.
Not if I can help. Come on, wake up.
See, I imagine nothing I do matters here.
I know you can pull through this.
I was just resting my eyes.
You shouldn't sleep on the job.
In case you haven't noticed, Simmons doesn't take rejection well. Nothing worthwhile.
No bullets. Let's see. I have nothing here. Good thing there's all these bullets over here. but I would still have to come over here and probably dissolve the zombie. And then reload here. And he's like throwing bullets at them. That didn't help. It's like a machine gun, but not a machine gun. I feel like I'm missing. Getting knocked down a lot. See, I desperately need to run. And wow, that was almost an action move there. Myself up. But as long as I'm anywhere near him, he's just gonna knock me down. Which tells me I have to run to the other edge again. Ten more bullets. Like that was gonna work. See, was that a damage meter or was that just a time meter? Because it didn't feel like I was doing any damage to him.
I'll pass.
Can't always get what you want, Simmons. Let's call this closure. You really should have moved on, Simmons.
Now we get out of game engine cutscene. The real problem with trying to make a movie after this, which they have done certainly, and it's actually not that interesting a movie either. Not until they.
Why are you helping us?
Wish I could stay longer, but I've got to run. I've left you a little parting gift on the roof. See you down the road, Leon.
See, that almost feels like she can't talk.
What are you waiting for?
Go after her.
No. We're sticking together.
So is there more to this level? Or is it just another cutscene? Yeah, until they get into the live-action Resident Evil movies, which are kind of just cheap, like summer action flicks that look a little bit better because then they are having to actually struggle to make real people look like zombies versus
out of here.
just animating something from scratch, which animation in the Western world and the United States in particular doesn't really get big box office sales. What in the world is This is like Transformers. That's just weirdly depicted. It's kind of a cool idea. But
He just doesn't quit, does he?
yeah, how many times have we fought this guy? This is like number 4.
You're finally gonna get what's coming to you, Simmons.
I'm sure they saved the room from hell.
Let's see, do I have a whole bunch of these. So let's try that.
Let's do something about it.
Now I'm down for good. Actually, messed up there. So 4 incendiary grenades. And the zombies start eating them.
Now, go!
Interesting.
That's
Now,
what we caught last time.
I think Ada's gonna have a rocket launcher somewhere around here for me to pick up, if I was to guess.
We've got to get to that helicopter.
Unless the present was the helicopter.
And the sooner the better.
Which way are we going? So that whole area was probably a safe place to reload all my guns and such. And now I'm probably in a bad place to load. Oh, and these graphics look so bad. They look like something worse than even GameCube level. Let's see. Reload, 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 reload. Come over here. And I can either use these now or I can wait. And I guess I need to use them now. Just the difference between high texture and low texture is way too far. This is unacceptably bad. You might as well tell people not to play your game if they have to look at this.
I'm all right. Just get me out of here.
On some of this stuff.
Got it.
And
Legs like rough, huh? Okay.
now he's turned into a giant fly. Which this would be cool, certainly. It's not a bad thought. Now, did something just get hit here to like spit a zombie at me? Nope.
Elena, what's going on?
Hold on! I'll take care of it!
Seems kind of obvious his eyes would be the weak points. Maybe in a way they've really actually done a good job of making it more subtle where the weak spots are, or perhaps making it less video gaming about the weak spots. I'm running out of bullets again. The fact that we fought against so many of these characters. So we're just waiting for her to show up so we can open this, so we can move to the next section.
This is bad. We gotta get to the helicopter.
So I'm just leaving her behind. As far as skill points and all of that, it's... We're doing the best we can, but we're not really succeeding. And with the graphics looking this awful, and some of this is not just graphics, some of this is just bad design ideas. Sometimes I'll accuse games.
We need to ground this asshole. As long as he's airborne, we're not going anywhere in that chopper.
I'll be damned if I'm gonna let him stop us.
So I just die. Sometimes I'll say the games feel like they were made by the B team. This feels like they were made by the C or D
we gotta get
team.
to the helicopter.
Like extremely incompetent as far as engine design, level design, storytelling. So we're gonna come over here. We can probably skip this now. Look at this transition. It's like a stock fractalization effect. It means nothing and explains nothing and looks nowhere appropriate.
All right, we need to ground this asshole. As long as he's airborne, we're not going anywhere in that chopper.
So I need to shoot all his legs off. So when he grabs this lightning rod, I'm hoping that means he's going to get shot by lightning. It doesn't really work that way, but fine.
The lightning rod. If he absorbs that, he'd be in for a shock.
So what do? We stab somebody with it? So we have to manually stab the guy with the lightning rod. Try to hit his legs. And remember, we can always do this little flourish thing if we want to just blind fire. But I really wouldn't do that. Not right now, at least. Maybe kill these other two characters. Did he just get hit by the lightning? Nope. It's still not falling for it. Just try not to die. So I guess this is what we're aiming for. So he went for it and he gets shocked again. I got like 3 shots. Let's just pick this up again and immediately stab this in the zombie. Is there anything else? Anywhere else I can go to get bullets? Not really.
Now, aim for his head.
Let's see. Is this something I can do? Yes. throw a grenade that you will magically have right in his. Apparently, I have like 5 incendiary grenades. So, do we have to do that twice, or?
You're right. We're just wasting our time.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and the game is telling me I'm not doing it right, so... But I actually think I probably am doing it right, and the game is just telling me the wrong information. Come on.
Helena, the lightning rod!
Oh, maybe I should have put the lightning rod in his head. Oh, no, he does it himself. That's fine. I thought I needed to actually pick it up and jam it in his head. See, all that really did was clear the path for us to escape. And this is now turning into a battle that took longer to defeat than Wesker. And
head for the chopper.
That kind of
this floor is stable.
Because Simmons is in no way as good of a bad guy as Wesker. He hasn't had any reason or rhyme to his actions other than he's maybe a jilted lover, and that's it. A really dumb reason. There's a rocket launcher. I knew it. I knew it. We were gonna pick up a rocket launcher and shoot it from the helicopter, which we do almost every game.
Oh shit!
And I don't have a problem with the bad guys having a lot of health. I have a problem with the bad guy having like several different sections of attack. See, rocket launchers do almost infinite damage, so you probably won't even find somebody that won't die in a rocket launcher attack unless you're playing on the hardest of hard difficulties. They gotta impale him on this bike. As if that would even really do much damage to him. And then this blood is falling down the obelisk. Is this the summoning of some other character? Even bigger? Or is this just all symbolic? And in the movies, you may remember there was a red queen, white queen, like computer AI. It really takes no part in the story at all, it seems, for 4, 5, and 6, and certainly not going to take part in 7 probably.
Sister.
Game is lagging up.
Come on.
And it looks
get to the chopper.
way better in the cutscenes, even though it still looks pretty bad in the cutscenes.
All right,
to the chopper.
let's get out of here.
As Arnold Schwarzenegger would say. So again, a section that involved walking 5 feet.
Is that Ada's?
evidence against
this is-
Simmons.
Evidence that proves Simmons' guilt.
Which means it will prove your innocence.
Our innocence.
I don't need it.
Lena.
Good news, Leon. We found a way to defeat the virus.
Copy that. We're on our way back. See you soon. Let's go.
Fly out of this place. Just get away with your lives. You're probably gonna nuke the place anyways. It seems now utterly pointless that they made us play a portion of the story as a tutorial for the first 20 minutes of the game. Before you could even pick who you wanted to play as, we had to run through a section of this. Just to foreshadow an uninteresting boss. Like, there was no mystery at all that Simmons was potentially the bad guy, because no other potential bad guys were even suggested. So they're going through the credits fast, but here we can just say all of these people kind of suck. I hate to be so mean and pompous about it, but anybody who did this, worked on this game, should be ashamed. I would want my name taken off. I would go with NUS as a thing, or Miss. You can see there are people here that are using pseudonyms, and some of the Japanese pseudonyms might just look like Japanese names to you, so they could all be pseudonyms here. Environment artists in particular should be upset. They said something about the My Framework. I imagine that is an engine they were working on, and the engine in this is awful. Animators need to be ashamed of the work they did, because they got nothing to scale on half of their 3D models, and there was an entire section full of fog, so they didn't have to animate anything. User interface people should be upset because they should be ashamed. I'm upset they should be ashamed because they didn't do very good. Cinematic artists should be upset because their cinematics don't play correctly. I can't really say anything beyond that, but they should still be upset because of that. Sound designers, well, there was a little bit of some 3D surround going on, but because the engine never had that many zombies, nor could zombies really spawn from that many different areas, it wasn't used effectively. Motion capture support, you kind of have to do motion shot capture. Only one person wrote the script. He's completely to blame for the script sucking and being chopped up here. Let's see. One of them is a manga artist, and it seems like a lot of those people are from what is this, Bauhaus Entertainment? That's like German. A Magica Digital Scape? Like English Dialogue Supervisor? And no, I don't think much is lost in translation here, because I don't think there's much to start off with. Camera operators, gaffers, electricians, on-set sound engineers. These are things that would be credited to a live action thing. That's all just motion capture. So they must have blown a lot of their budget on motion capture. Let's see, voice actors. Didn't really have a problem with any of the voice actors or the dialogue. Really, nothing too cheesy there for a Resident Evil game. No real story here, though. Nothing really bad about their thing. Here the credits are locking up. Again, it's ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. We're seeing so much here about facial capture and motion capture that they must have blown the budget. some of these names look Chinese and not Japanese, so it feels like maybe they gave some of this work to companies across the world. That certainly will destroy your video game if you have one team in the United States, one team in Japan, one team in China, one team in, say, Denmark, all working on allegedly the same game but having no way to collaborate and talk to each other and have the same ideas. It's a lot of times in projects, in any job, having the ability for two people to just talk to each other face to face and be on the same page, while that may cause conflict at times, it will also resolve that conflict. Having them in completely separate areas, you don't even know that there's a confliction going on. One team is doing their thing, the other team is doing their own thing. It would certainly explain why the levels are all broken up if the story is being written by one person and the level designs are being done by somebody thousands of miles away. There's way too many credits on this game for as bad as this game is. Way too many credits. You can almost forgive the garbage you sometimes see on Steam Greenlight, where it's made by one person or one kid or something that doesn't speak English and doesn't know what they're doing, and it turning out bad. You really can't give the same generosity, I would say, or forgiveness to Capcom, a company that should know better and should do something better with their major titles. And kind of that's the problem with Capcom in general, is they don't care about their video game titles, because Capcom is more about selling arcade games in Japan, and they, like a lot of Japanese companies, they have fingers in many pies, so they may sell dishwashers and clothing lines and security systems and cars, and they may do all kinds of different things. I'm not sure if that's true about Capcom, but they're obviously not concerned about keeping the Resident Evil series brand high and good quality. They let complete and total garbage come out here. Here, Warner Brothers has shown their face, so if Warner Brothers is involved, then there's another company that doesn't care about its titles, and Sony shows its face. Not that much different there, but they may simply have had a small effect as far as just audio and music selection, so I can't really blame this game on anybody but Capcom. Here's the support team that needed to do more beta testing to get this thing to actually run. See, it's weird to say. I can't ever say that a game doesn't run on everybody's computer, but I can say this game in particular did not run for a lot of people when it first came out, and does not run well for me now in 2016. Although this is probably in 2017. With probably 3 times the amount of CPU and graphics processing and RAM, so you really can't get around bad programming, bad port, a bad PC port. Since this game has come out, here we can blame all of the PC version staff, and maybe because this game may have run fine on the Xbox and the PlayStation 3, but if I'm remembering correctly, it didn't. If I'm remembering correctly, it ran as poorly here as it does on the consoles, which is totally unacceptable. They should have just not put out a Resident Evil game. And this is where the real danger comes about, because they're telling us all these promises with the RE7, but I have to compare it to the last numbered game in the series. And if I don't compare it to the last numbered game in the series, then I compare it to Resident Evil Revelations, which was also garbage. So you can't really compare it to a good game until you go back to at least Resident Evil 5. And that's, you're talking 4-6 years ago. Way too long. And way too many bad games in between for that to be a fair comparison. So we can always live in hope that they've turned over another new leaf, and RE7 is the beginning of them always releasing quality. What's funny is even the NVIDIA symbol looks bad with the graphics set so low. But maybe they will. Maybe they'll come about and have some really good quality gameplay in 7, and we can live in hope. But from what I've seen from Capcom here, in multiple Resident Evil games, it tells me they don't believe in quality. And that's, I've seen no quality here. I really wish I could play Resident Evil 4 and be happier, and that would have been the only game we'd played since RE7. Even if they could squeeze RE5 in there, I'm not upset, because RE5 is a good enough game by itself. But Revelations 6 and a multitude of other portable versions, those games should not have existed.
Thank you.
The audio sounds wrong.
I'm ready. What? But I assisted in the attack.
The investigating commission have reviewed the evidence and feel it unjust to hold you liable for Simmons' crime. They will also not be disclosing their findings to the public.
But
The president would have done the same.
This would be funny if Leon became the president somehow. In this world, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right. Shall we go join the team?
And Hunnigan, I wouldn't be surprised if she's in charge of NSA or whatever organization she's
Leon,
supposed to be running.
for the next time you see her,
So why was she even holding on to that?
Women.
So we get a cheesy Leon ending. Boy, is that not the logo you want to see after that cutscene. So 8 skills now available to choose from. Interesting. And the dog tag has been earned. Only one, I imagine, each time. So accuracy has gone up to B, which seems strange because I'm still only doing about 61.2% accuracy. Deaths A rank, clear time B rank, enemies routed A rank, killed 10 more enemies with physical attacks, routed, execute 10 headshots, routed, killed an enemy using environmental, let's see. Sent Derek to his grave, recovered from dying, killed an enemy with a physical attack, killed an enemy with a quick shot, killed an enemy with a stealth attack, executed a headshot, killed an enemy with grenade, tripped a running enemy, made it to quad tower, parted ways with Ada once again. And that got me rank A. Saving content. Successfully saved. So let's kind of look at the records here. According to the game, I've only done 2% because it wants you to play as every single character. Even through amateur, even through pro, of the 5 things, 5 different difficulties, 5 different chapters. That's 25 times it wants me to play as Leon. 25 times it wants me to play as Helena. 25 times it wants me to play as all these other characters I don't even bother knowing their names right now. I've been rescued 8 times, saved from dying 0 times, and I've covered certain distances, swimming, crawling, dashing, and running. As far as weapons, let's see, I guess the 909 gun we don't have yet. Although maybe we've unlocked these guns. Will I find those guns if I play in a replay mode or New Game Plus mode on Leon's story, or do I have to go to the other stories to get those weapons? I would lean towards having to play the other stories to get the other weapons, but it may be a case simply where you can do it by playing the same section over and over again. Why you would want to play the same section over and over again, I don't know. Even if they cut out all the cutscenes and made it a quick, like, hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes to run through all 5 chapters, which it almost feels like they could do that, you wouldn't really be having a quick or good experience with it. Even if it wasn't locking up, you're just kind of fighting a small group of zombies, and a small group of zombies there's a ton of medals, and of course we haven't done Agent Hunt or any of that. And then special features now. As far as cutscenes, let's see. So Leon doesn't even start on December 24th or 25th, which, by the way, is Christmas 2012. So he jumps all the way to June 29th, 2013. And then we missed, I think, a cutscene here. Otherwise, there's kind of no reason for this to be here other than maybe just a spacer, which maybe it is just a spacer. Yeah, because there's another one here. So we probably did get all the cutscenes, which is something I would kind of assume. And as we move forward to these different sections, did we get everything? Yep, all the way to the ending, and there's the name of the ending is Trouble with Women. So when we come here in this cutscene is for Chris, Jake, and Ada. Are all of these final battles going to take place in different places, or at the same time, or different the same place, and are they going to be the exact same cutscene? I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of are the same place and the same time, but different angles on the camera. That might be the truth of it. Then we come over here to this jukebox area, and we found 2 more collectibles, and I would assume on New Game Plus you can't find duplicates. So as I'm running through the first section, if I found one, I would hope that is the one to get the 3D model, which again will load into this 3D model as the game is lagging, and it doesn't look too good with all the visual graphics. Let's see. You have to use the D-pad to shift on the face, and then we can hit Y.
It's all my fault. I did this.
Is that the same thing she says every time?
I did this.
So if you zoom in right now, you're just going towards, I assume, what you might say is a bust view. In a lot of ways, this does just feel like you're ogling the animation, whether you're ogling a certain part. If you're in the guns, you may just be ogling this short barrel double shotgun that kind of looks like it might be a triple shotgun, which I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. It is a triple shotgun, yeah. I don't think anybody's ever made anything like that. And there's a whole nother section of collectibles for Chris and Jake and Ada to try and collect those as you're playing the game 25 times over. But let's now, so what I wanted to do, since we've got about 10 minutes here, is I wanted to see, can we get the game to work better at the lowest display settings possible, which may mean the black bars are going to show up on the edges when I change this, if I can figure out where the display settings are. It's graphic settings hidden here. So, what we're trying to do here is no anti-aliasing, a 30 frame rate, display frequency is at 60, and 640 by 480. And let's try this. And that this may just turn it into a tiny little screen for you. And so let me just alt tab out into the my program and see if that is the case. If I can. Yes, it is the case. Let's see. Alright. So at the very least I can take off the background image. But there are black bars now, totally on the edge. So, extra content, what is that? That's this DLC stuff that we won't really play with. We'll look at the dog tags. Templates. We've got several new colors now. Hand grenade. And so you kind of have to select each one to even mark them as you've played with them. Emblems. We now have several new emblems, but it doesn't seem like there's actually that many emblems. I thought there would have been more. And then several new titles, which I'll just quickly go through. Yeah, it's still a long road ahead if you were really just trying to get all of these. But the dog tags and things don't even play a part, I think, in single player, because we've never seen anything like that. Skill settings now. So now we have 8 that we can pick from. So I can choose a skill to equip, and then let's say we wanted firearm, and then defense, and then critical hit. And then we'd have to equip this skill setting, which kind of makes it pointless to have 8 loadouts and having to play through the entire game for 8 different loadouts. Is kind of silly. I suppose you could have a section where you need more items and a section where you need more damage, but that would mean you would have to switch back and forth endearing gameplay between your skills. New game plus. Start new game with the data from the previous game. And that certainly tells me we would have to do this. But we need to do this, so start a new game without the weapons you obtained. No. Z. Now would be the time to bump it up to veteran. There's no real reason to play the game on normal again. Or you'd bump it down to amateur and play that way. And you have to play as Helena, Leon here, to have the same weapons, which makes little sense now because you are playing New Game Plus, but from what I've seen online, you only get Leon's weapons if you play as Leon. Alright, and we'll do on offline again and start. And what are we looking for here? We're looking for lag. So we want to run through this game and try to put it through as much of its paces as possible. So, going to try and skip all the cutscenes. Going to try to skip everything. Like that. Well, actually, skipping the cutscenes actually is probably pointless.
So what's so special about this church? You have some sins to confess?
It's hard to explain. If I don't tell you at the cathedral, you may not believe me.
This is almost what you would experience playing on a GameCube.
You're gonna tell me everything once we get to the cathedral. Deal?
Deal.
Alright, so this section at the beginning is just a walkthrough section, and you can't even shoot, so we know there's nothing here. And we've got lag. So I think that proves our point right there. I'm glad we didn't have to go any further than that, really. There's no scariness in this game, too. That's one thing. Like, not a single jump scare, not a single interesting
you see one of them,
enemy
aim for the head.
that
it's your best
me.
bet.
Got it.
Like, no fear at all in this game. This is totally a 100% action game.
This is where the reception was gonna be. They'd all be here eating dinner right now if...
You think anyone survived?
And so we're locked in a super simple mode. There's no reason why this would lock up.
I can't believe this is happening again.
And yet it did.
It's just like Raccoon.
And they're locked up again. It almost seems like like there's
I'll never forget
5 different reasons why
we're
it can
going to
lock
this
up.
cathedral of yours. But if you really did have a hand in this, you can kiss your freedom goodbye.
And see, this whole find your way feature that was in this game, that stopped being a real feature.
What was that?
This area in particular
Only one way to find out.
was
Let's go.
everything was off scale. Way too big. So I can reload. Let's see. I can't hit any of the other buttons though, so I can only have one gun. Let's see. So equip skills. You have your 8 skills now that you could do that. And then as far as graphic settings, I suppose we could change it to 60 and see if that fixes it somehow at this low resolution, but ideally you want the texture and things to work. Like, you want it to look better because this looks like garbage. This looks like a 12-15-year-old game.
In the back.
And it plays even worse than that. It plays like a 15-20-year-old game. It plays almost as bad as Resident Evil 1. I have a whole category of games on my Steam library that I label too old. And this plays like a game that I would label too old. Just because of the graphics, because of the effects, because of the limited AI, limited number of enemies, limited level design.
Liz! Wait, let me go! It's too dangerous.
Because of just every single limitation of the game being
She's all alone.
too old.
If we don't do something. All right.
Those type of games I
If you don't keep it down, you won't live to save her.
play. There's no worth playing here. And this game is not going to go in that category, but it is going to go in my other category called unplayable.
All right.
Because it's just badly
Leon, we don't have time
We're making the time.
And it's a bad story.
Liz.
As I get more and more games and cover more and more games, there is a certain just admittance as a video game critic, I'm going to play worse and worse games. Alright, so we are now in the point where we got all of our weapons, which that helps a little bit, but not as much as you would think. We don't, it seems, have everything that we have, but maybe we do.
They're scared.
Can I even hit these rats? No.
Who turned the lights off?
And it feels like the game is intentionally taking away my bullets. So you might have upgraded weapons or new weapons, but no bullets to handle it. Now we're playing at the 60 frames per second just to see what potentially will lock up, if the game will lock up again. Because at 640 by 480, maybe it would run.
That's quite a draft.
If you're willing to look at the graphics at this level,
we will.
Maybe with the maybe at 60 frames per second you could turn the quality up to high, but you really need it to happen. This is a pretty bad section to try and test for locking up,
Please answer.
particularly since it's the beginning of the game. The beginning of the game is always, or usually, actually not in this case, but usually the beginning of games are optimized specifically to...
Wonder how much time we have before these corpses are on their feet.
Seems like because I'm playing on normal, it may have given me some extra collectibles or something. There is a medallion somewhere, it's supposed to be around here. Like, I don't know if it actually is in this area, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. There we go, lockup. And that's what we needed to see. This is the game. Another lockup at 60 frames per second. So, that's all kind of we needed. End game. Go ahead and quit the game. So it doesn't really matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter that these are high or low. It seems 30 frames per second probably helps, but no anti-aliasing probably helps. But everything else kind of just doesn't really change it. Resolution was our last attempt, and so I'm assuming now I'm just going to want to leave it at high so it looks nice at least, and 1080p so it looks nice at least, even though it's going to lock up. That's kind of all I can do. I mean, we're getting lockups in the menus, and when you see lockups in the menus, that tells me something about it. Well, I'm still not quite ready to rage quit. So next time we will do a new game plus as, let's see, chapter select as Chris, and we'll do that, and then we'll do Jake, and then we'll do Ada, and hopefully their stories, there are 25 different ways to play that section, are a little bit quicker, and we're gonna try to run through it a little bit quicker. Hopefully I get to keep my guns, but I wouldn't be surprised for a second if I don't get to keep my guns. Playing as Helena on the Leon story kind of doesn't make any sense to you, because that means there's only going to be, I would guess, 12 minutes of different gameplay when you play as Helena. This game is so built around being multiplayer and getting people to play as their friends, and that's just not going to happen, and particularly now it's not going to happen. We could see here and see if we could, you play the mercenaries. I think we could play it solo good, so you can still play that game, but then join another player's game as a creature. Let's go ahead and just search games. Could not find a game session to join immediately. So either my firewall has blocked it yet again, or they turned off the server. I wouldn't be surprised if they turned off the server. Which is why you should never buy games for multiplayer, because you're going to lose those games, and that's a bad investment. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me further, you can go to my main YouTube page. On the right there's a button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.